yeah, Bridgeland always does it right?
Yeah.
I know we've talked about that multiple times, but
Yes.
they're always kind of doing things on the, spared no expense, like Jurassic Park, right? Spared no expense. Talking about all the issues that Disney had when it first started, and comparing it to Jurassic Park.
Park.
Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down. The pirates don't eat the tourists.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Sci-Fi real talk, let's get down to it. Jim and Rodney, they're gonna walk you through it from the market trains to the best spots in town. Sci-Fi real talk, we got it all going down.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Sci-Fi Real Talk. We are your hosts. My name is Jim Mulholland.
And I'm Rodney Jordan.
And this is episode 7. So welcome. It's been a good ride, good journey. We had wanted to get you this episode actually last week, but I was out, not feeling good. Had a weird cough. So my apologies for missing out on it last week.
You sound a lot better.
A little bit. Yeah, no, it was a crazy cough. Like, man, I'm going to die cough for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then I was fine for about 30 minutes. And then same thing happened again, just over and over and over again. But back at it and ready to go. So what do we have going on today, Rodney?
Oh, we have a lot going on today. A lot of news, a lot of stuff to bring to them. Excited about this in our real news section. We'll be covering some things that we have today. But it wasn't all you last week, Jim. I was away as well. I had jury duty.
Oh, jury duty.
I served on jury duty last week. We had a lot going on. So hopefully they spare me for a little while. But we've had just so much going on. And I'm really excited. I was telling you, I'm really excited about today and what we have going on. You have a busy day, so I know we got to jump right into this show. Are you ready to jump into some real news?
Let's going. What's happening in the news?
All right. Well, they say you always want to talk about the weather. So looking at it, this week in Houston has been we've been getting some rain, Harvey-like rain in some areas.
It's been, again, we talked about it last week. We had some crazy rain and it just kept going.
Yeah.
More tomorrow.
More
tomorrow.
You guys had
more
some
floods.
some baseball games that got delayed or moved,
right? Sports. So my younger son's spring football game was supposed to be tomorrow night. It got moved up to tonight because of the rain that we're anticipating tomorrow. So the Bridgeland spring game is going to be tonight.
Nice.
Which
Who
is
are they
Wednesday.
playing?
They play themselves. This is a scrimmage.
Okay,
it's
just a scrimmage.
It's the kind of the way
Get the
to
pads
end.
on.
And their spring training, their spring workouts. So get to go hit each other a little bit. So that'll be good. But
fun.
So we were supposed to have a baseball game tonight, and that was delayed to tomorrow because of the rain on Monday. Kind of pushed everything back, but I don't think that's going to happen. So. But lots of stuff with the rain. Not as much flooding as we were talking about last week, which is a good sign.
We've been fine here in Cypress. I mean, the lawn is looking good.
Grass is good. Yeah. So it's good. I mean, you can hate to complain about rain. Yeah. Because we do have those crazy droughts.
Yeah.
It's kind of always appreciated when we get rain, as long as we don't get the flooding rain. And so far we've been lucky. So. That's been something to watch.
Yes, it has. But definitely thoughts and prayers for the folks that have been affected by it up north, Texas, and everything all around the world. But definitely thinking about you folks and everything like that. So definitely. All right, so let's jump into our real news section. And we always kind of do it, Jim. We got to do it in unison. How do we call it?
Real news.
There you go. See, the voice is back. You're healthy. You're back.
A little better.
There we go.
Here we go.
So
what else is going on?
We'll jump into some real news. We did have a report coming out here in Harris County. Harris County, they raised the property tax exemption for seniors and disabled homeowners. I thought that was great news. I mean, all you do is just keep living, and we'll be in that category,
not too
for
far
a little bit older.
Right, yeah. But no, it's a pretty significant bump, right? From $275 up to $320,000. They get to exempt from their property taxes for Harris County, so that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of needed just because home values have gone up that much, so or at least that much. So, but no, it's a good thing. I'm glad they did that.
That's good. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And that was found on the Community Impact.
Yeah, thank you, Community
right
Impact.
There. Yeah, one of my favorite reads and stuff like that.
Yeah, for those of you guys that are not from the area and you're new to the area, you want to know what's going on in news, Community Impact, look for Sci-Fi Community Impact because they always have the really most up-to-date stuff going on in the Cypress area. And it's kind of where we get a lot of our information for this show. So yeah, thank you guys. He also actually has that physical paper, which is nice, which I think you brought on here before.
I do.
But no, it's a good place to kind of catch up and see what's going on in the area. So yeah, the Sci-Fair Community Impact, good place to check out. And they have other areas too, not just Sci-Fair. So, but yeah, that's a nice publication.
Yeah. Or stay tuned to us. We'll definitely keep bringing you the news and things that are happening and things that are going on around here in Northwest Houston, Cypress area. All right. Well, want to talk a little bit about something we have coming up. This beautiful project. It's called the One Bridgeland Project.
Yeah.
Fun project. I had an opportunity to talk to the sales team about it. For those that are looking, you can go to SciFairRealestate.com. We have a blog post about it. But Jim, what do you think about this? I was kind of showing you. It's right here in your backyard.
Right. No, it's just a nice office complex. I don't know. I think the architecture, if they're going to do this, looks nice. I like how they added the moving clouds to the picture. It's very fancy.
Yeah. You and I always look at a website. We're like, oh yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But no, it's the first mass timber office building in the greater Houston area. Inspirational blend of all natural materials, innovative technologies, and intelligent design. So, yeah, Bridgeland always does it right? Yeah. I know we've talked about that multiple times, but they're always kind of doing things on the, spare no expense, like Jurassic Park, right?
Exactly.
Spared no expense. So
like
that's
that.
kind
That's
of the way
a good line from that movie.
That's a great movie. But one of my favorite quotes from that movie is like, "But John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists." I love that line.
Yes.
Talking about all the issues that Disney had when it first started, comparing it to Jurassic Park.
Park.
Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
They've
Classic.
Made a few,
before its time.
A few
right?
of those, right? I mean, I think it's like,
they've had a lot of them.
Yeah, they've had a few series.
No, you can't beat the first. The original was the best by far. So, but yeah, no. Here's a little kind of what it's going to look like in terms of the One Bridgeland Green. So I know we talked about the HEB. So the Highway 99, the Grand Parkway is kind of over here. This is all near the Bridgeland High School. Here's 99.2 miles away. But the big HEB they're growing is just going to be right there in that shopping center, along with a lot of retails. The Starling Apartments are right here across the street. So. But now I take this road right here, Bridgeland High School Drive. I'm on that pretty much every day, picking up my kid from football. So I know this area well. But
that's going to be such a neat area also for the high school students and everything. I mean, look at the retail that's going in. And I love it when they start driving. You got a new fueling station coming in. I mean, that's good. This is going to be so fun for Bridgeland.
The neighborhood's looking forward to it. The one HEB we have now at Tucker and Fry is very crowded, so this will be nice to kind of help relieve some of that traffic. And then all the new sections of Bridgeland over on the outside of the Grand Parkway. So Prairie Land Village, Kirkland Village, it gives them a much closer drive to go to the grocery store and get the, I'm sure there'll be lots of fast food and places to eat and haircut places and nail salons, all that stuff too. So it's kind of bringing some more convenience. So it's good that we're kind of everything's moving, the ball's rolling and all that. So that's great.
I think they're projecting summer of next year for that project to get open. I wanted to ask you this. They have the original clubhouse now. Have you guys ever been in there and spent any time there or visited the Welcome Center? The Welcome Center.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we bring clients there.
Okay.
So it's kind of a nice place to go, especially for people who new to the area to go and see what Bridgeland has. You see the master plan, you kind of see all the amenities, all the trails. They just give you a good overview of what's going on with the area. But the Bridgeland Welcome Center there at the front is definitely a good place to check out if you want to look at houses in the area or have your realtor bring you there when you come look at homes. So it's a nice place, definitely worth a visit.
All right. Well, good. Well, on this episode, we're going to be talking about home builders and kind of going in them and ranking our home builders. But ahead of that, before we get out of the real news, I found this interesting article from the National Association of Home Builders. And they announced their 10-point plan to shelter inflation, to ease the housing crisis we have, and just some of the highlights. I'll read a few of them to you here. Number one was they wanted to eliminate excessive regulation. I think that's always a thing here in Texas. They're trying to ease some of the regulations there. Number two, they want to promote careers in skilled trades. I think you and I have talked about that. We've had a lot of tradesmen visit us in our scoreboard, a sales meeting, and come in, and plumbers. We've had people here from plumbers to remodelers, so a lot of those, and there's definitely a need for that. Of course, they want to look at the supply chain to see what they can do there on prices. They're also looking at overturning some of the inefficient zoning regulations that they have, and that's mostly in other states. We don't have that big problem here in Houston. We've already solved that. We can check that out.
No zoning. That's how we solve it. We don't zone.
And they want to, lastly here, just I'll name a few, and you can find this. I did tweet this out on our Twitter account, CFRT RE on Twitter, if you want to, or X. I'm sorry, X. Right. If you want to find us there, I'll make sure I tweet this article. So feel free to look that over. It's some interesting things, but it's nice to see other associations working and thinking about housing and doing some things like that. So.
Yeah, that's
all right.
good.
Well, let's continue to drive on. We have some big news. Jim, it's time for me to ask you the question that all of the audience is tuned in for. How is the market?
Oh, how's the market? Well, the big news on the market is today is CPI day.
Oh.
You know, every month CPI is kind of a big deal, right?
Okay.
So, CPI is the inflation numbers that they release once a month. Mm-hmm. So we got those today. And good news. CPI is good. Inflation was basically as expected. So headline consumer price index for April was pegged by the Commerce Department at 3.4%, down from the prior month's tally of 3.5%. So that's good. On a monthly basis, it edged 0.3% higher, slower than the 0.4% gain in March. So basically, it's still more than they want, because they want the inflation numbers to be in the twos, closer to 2 versus 3, but it's still, inflation is rising slower than obviously when it was last year. It was like 8-9%. So when they started raising their interest rates, so hopefully, I mean the hope is by having these numbers going lower is that we can actually start lowering the interest rate, right? So this Federal Reserve can start bringing down the interest rates, which will help with obviously home buyers. The biggest thing to us is home buyers, but also small businesses, that kind of stuff, which helps the economy keep going. So the goal has always been a soft landing, right? That's the key. That's what they keep saying, is that you want to raise rates just enough to help curb inflation, but at the same time not cause mass layoffs and a recession and all that stuff. So that's kind of what they're still hoping to do. I think we're looking decent so far. But no, that was good. And immediately, if we go over to our, let me look at. Okay. Ooh, I don't know what that just did.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
All right. But yeah, no, here is the number we keep looking at again, the 10-year Treasury yield, which kind of mimics the 30-year inflation rate. You can see this. This is the daily chart. We've been following this uptrend. I've been saying until we drop below that uptrend, we're going to keep those interest rates, those 30-year mortgage rates are going to keep going up. And this is the kind of news that we've been hoping for, right?
I know.
Look at that big candle. So today, that rate is down 2.3%.
Nice.
So yesterday it closed at 4.44, and today it is at 4.34. So basically 0.1%.
Okay.
So if rates say yesterday were 7.25, then today they'd average basically 7 1/8.
Okay.
So 7.15. So that's how much has gone down just today.
Yeah. Now I have some questions for you on this. Now, since we've been doing the podcast and doing the show, we've been in that thing you've taught us about the uptrend. We've been between those, and you're saying those test lines for us to test the one at the top or the one at the bottom. So and you called it a breakthrough, I believe. Are you waiting to get the,
I'm doing some real-time editing. For those that are watching on YouTube, OBS Studio is not. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I really wanted to, if when we get that chart back, I really want to look and get your thoughts on that, or what kind of signal would you say that is, though, Jim? I mean, a lot of people have been watching it, and I've learned that we've been in that uptrend, as you called it, and you said you called it a breakthrough. Am I right with that?
Right,
You were saying, Rodney, we have to have we have to have a breakdown. So now that we have what looks like this, what are you thinking?
Well, so this is what I would really call support.
Okay.
So this 4.33 range here, you see how the 10-year Treasury yield bounced off this 4.33 number back in October 2022. It bounced off of it again in August 23. It bounced off it again in September, this past February 24. Okay. It bounced off it again in March 24. So this is the market keeps bouncing. It's respecting this level. So you would expect that we could have a bounce up here. We haven't really ever bounced up from this range, right? So here we just kind of went right through it like butter. So here maybe a little bounce. But yeah, so you'd want, this is what it's called in technical analysis terms, a retest.
A retest. Okay.
So if it goes through the retest, then we're looking really good. If it bounces here, I'm going to guess, my guess would be we may kind of hover here, kind of waiting to hear what the Fed says. Are they thinking now maybe more rate increases in the future? If so, this could go down. If they're saying, we're still not sure for this year, it could go up, but it may just go sideways. So very intuitive, right? It may go up, it may go down, it may go sideways. Get the information here first, folks. Rates may go up, down, or sideways.
I love
That's amazing. Wow, Jim, tell me more.
But no, this is going to be interesting to see how this plays and how this is going, because right now this would be good news for both buyers and sellers, right? I mean, I think I know people are when they think interest rates, they're just thinking on the buy side, but homeowners, we got to unlock them as well too. So they're looking at rates just as much as buyers are looking at rates.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, sellers. I mean, especially those sellers are thinking they may want to move, but don't want to because they're kind of locked into that really low rate. So any kind of help would be could be helpful. But no, I mean, the fact it dropped down below this uptrend channel makes me think that's could very well be on the downtrend. Maybe the worst may be past us. But yeah, we'll see. But this is a big number. So this is a weekly chart now. All these candles are the weekly for those that are watching on YouTube. But you kind of see it a little easier when you have less candles. You can kind of see where this is kind of a big area here. So we're right at that 4.33. So. Next week's show, we'll definitely know more and kind of see how it reacted and what happened there. So
and for those of you that are on the YouTube, please subscribe so you can come back and tell us how right we are, how wrong we are. Come on, subscribe, join the show. Join the show. Absolutely.
So, but yeah, so that was big news today. I think, like I said, the stock market was very happy with that news. Well, it was. I wouldn't say very happy. I think it's up a little less than 1%, but it's definitely better than if it was higher than expected. Everything would have crashed. So all in all, we're moving right along on interest rates, but definitely going the right way. So I know we still have a lot of buyers that are just on the fence, like you had said. We were talking to agents today, and he had a buyer that's still thinking about it, but interest rates are too high, so holding off. So stuff like this could be what the market's looking for.
Yeah, but you have to spread the news on what's going on, and if you know what you're watching and you know how to watch it, and tune in. This is what I'm telling everyone. Tune in, join the show, and become informed. So great news.
That's good.
There.
That's good.
Yeah,
so.
that's a lot of stuff. So rates
Okay.
today, where were we hovering at?
Oh yeah, let's look at the mortgage rates. Thank you, Rodney. Yeah, we looked at the Treasury, but not the actual rates. But yeah, so average rate nationally again is 7.11. I mean, down from the high of the end of April. So just a few weeks, we've gone from 7.5 to almost 7. So that's a big drop.
I mean,
0.5%. That makes a significant difference on your monthly mortgage payment.
Yes,
so,
it does.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. That's really good news.
Yeah.
For the buyers. And I think I remember you on the last episode. You were telling people, talk to your loan officer, talk to your lender. Is it a good time to lock if you're under contract? And we talked about that, but staying in touch with that, that's pretty good information.
Staying up and up. So. All right. That's good.
Well, perfect then. Well, we've been bringing our audience a lot of information, and they love our top 10 list.
Yeah.
We did get that
Everyone
feedback.
loves the top 10.
We've done schools. We've done master plan communities. So what do we have in store for them today? What could it be?
Well, kind of stay on the theme of buying a house. One of the things Cypress has going for it compared to some of the more established areas of Houston is we have a lot of new homes being built.
Yes,
so a lot of new homes being built, a lot of new home builders. So I thought we'd just do a top 10 builders by production. So what builders are in the Cypress area, and this is from the start of 2023.
Okay.
Basically who is building the most, what builders are doing the most production right now and again, it's based on the same data that we used to run the reports on CypherRealEstate.com, which is homes built in Cy-Fair ISD, Waller ISD, and Tomball ISD. So,
all right.
Well, let's get to it. So, and I got a fancy spreadsheet, and everyone knows I love spreadsheets. So we're just going to do it based off the spreadsheet. But went and got the data, and this is a nice little pivot table to kind of show us what we're doing. So you can kind of see here below the top 10, we have some good builders: Coventry, Weston, Brightland, Beezer, Ravenna, K-Hub, Nonian, Highland, Empire. So those are all people who didn't quite make the cut. But yeah, so to get to it, number 10, Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers.
Interesting.
So Toll Brothers actually builds in a few prominent neighborhoods. Dunham Point's the biggest one.
Yes.
So Dunham Point is, in terms of Cypress Master Plan communities, we talked about it. It was one of our profiled neighborhoods. So they've sold 26 homes total. 8 of those in Dunham Point. Why don't we just get a thumbs down?
I don't know where that came from. Last time we saw it as a thumbs up. It's got to be something we're saying, or it's Amy, Amy, are you watching the live stream of this?
What is the deal?
We were saying we have to look that up.
I don't know why we just got a thumbs down. Someone does not like Toll Brothers being number 10.
Maybe it was someone from Toll Brothers that says, no,
we're better than number 10.
We're better than number 10.
But yeah, so they're building in Dunham Point, Lakes at Creekside, and the Enclave at the Woodlands. So Lakes at Creekside and Enclave. The Woodlands are both Tomball ISD area. Dunham Point, obviously, is Cy-Fair ISD. So.
Okay.
Number 10. And Toll Brothers, good higher-end builder. I did do average home price. You can kind of see here they're in the $700,000, $600,000, $800,000 the average home price for Toll Brothers. So $842 overall is their average home price for the 26 homes.
Okay.
So, but they're a higher-end, good builder. Nothing really bad to say about Toll Brothers. All right. TriPoint. Number 9 used to be Trendmaker Homes.
Yes, they did a rebranding.
I think they got bought out, right?
Yeah, the builders will merge or buy out.
I think TriPoint is a West Coast builder, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, they were Trendmaker, at least in the Houston area. Now they're TriPoint. Very prominent builder. Build a few different products in Bridgeland, I know, and that's actually where they had their most production, $10.3 million of production in Bridgeland. Okay. Also in Dunham Point, $6.3 million in Dunham. And then again, Enclave at the Woodlands and Mason Woods. Those also, I believe, are in Tomball ISD. Kind of the average price, $642.
Yeah.
$642.
$200,000 difference there.
Yeah. So, but no, they're also a very good high-end builder in Houston that builds a whole bunch of different product lines. But yeah, 37 homes built, $23 million in production. So number 8 is MI Homes. They're building in 2 neighborhoods in the area, Marvita and Bridgeland. Mostly Marvita.
Yes.
Look at that, 53 sales at Marvita.
Yeah,
that's huge.
A popular community over here.
15 in Bridgeland, 68 total. MI actually just closed out of Bridgeland, so they are last I saw they were selling their model home, so they were pulling out of Bridgeland, but they did have 15 homes and may have a few more in inventory. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so a little more on the affordable side. Average home price about $370,000. $394 in Bridgeland, $363 in Marvita.
Okay.
So next is Newmark, another typically a higher end builder, but they also sell on smaller lots. I know in Bridgeland, I think they sell on 80s, but they also sell on like 40s. So
yeah, they have a wide
range of products.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so 27 million in production. Average is 663, but you see this, like one part of Bridgeland's 999,000, so basically average of $1 million, and then a different product in Bridgeland is 578,000. So that's you can see the difference in the product sizes there for Newmark Homes, and they're also building in Dunham Point and Town Lake. Okay. So they're in all the main master plan communities here. Every community we've highlighted, they are in. So the new home communities. So that's Newmark. Again, what was it? It was 42 homes, 27 million in production.
Yeah, that's
Centex next, 34 million, but 122 homes built.
They're turning and burning it.
Yeah. So Decker Farms is their biggest community. 54 homes sold, 15 million in production. Marvita here in Cypress, 17 homes, 5.8. Then Windrow, 13. But yeah, so they are definitely the more starter home type affordable home. So 284,000 is the average price.
Yeah, and that's kind of running up towards up 290 going north. You're going to hit Decker Farms. That's going to be over towards the Hockley area. Dale Rose and Decker Farms is on that side there. So it's out in that area. Windrow as well too. So more affordable, a little bit affordable. But
Yep. So looking for something to kind of get going, still be in the area. That's a good option. Long Lake is kind of a competitor of Centex, similar starter home typically type of a builder, but 38 million, 99 homes sold. Little higher price point on average, 386,000 is the average for them, but they are in neighborhoods like Beacon Hill, Cypress Green, Grand Oaks, Marvita, Oakwood, Telge Ranch.
Yeah, they're really spread out. Long Lake, I mean, there's just kind of one of the builders that you'll see them in pocket communities, the smaller communities, in and out of master plan communities as well too. So that's why you're going to see some of the smaller names of those communities for those types of builders.
So, and next, one of the biggest builders in the nation, Lennar, Lennar Homes. So. But they are next on the list. I don't even know what number we're on. Sorry, I kept count. So, Toll Brothers was 10. MI Homes 9. Newmark 8. Centex 7. Long Lake 6. Lennar. I'm sorry. Yeah, Lennar is 5. Number 5. All right, we're on the top 5 now. So number 5 is Lennar. But 41 million in production, 143 homes sold. That's a ton of homes.
Yes. Lennar is one of your very active builders. I did a little research on them. I figured they'd come up across this list, but just looking at Houston overall, Jim, they're in 43 active communities in the Houston area. So massive footprint. I also looked at what they had as far as availability. 275 move-in ready homes in Lennar, according to their website. Now those might be under construction or at various stages, but 275 homes. That's a lot as of today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they're building.
They're a big builder. But yeah, so 286,000 is the average home price for Lennar. So again, more of a starter home type deal. But they also build really nice houses and big houses too. So there's some pretty good high end. You can see in Bridgeland, their average is $433,000.
Yeah, looks like they're about done up here, right?
Yeah, I think they may be starting a new section. And there is some. So their higher end product is Village Builders. And sometimes when they list a Village Builder home, they'll actually put as Lennar Homes and MLS. And this is just straight data from MLS. So some of that could be, maybe there's a Village in there. But yeah, so there you go. Okay. All right, number 4, David Weekley. Again, a big builder. want to say they're kind of focused on the Texas area, but I've always had really good things about David Weekley. One of my favorite builders. Always had good experiences with them, and they're a lot of the main master plan communities. Bridgeland is their biggest with 16 million in production, 33 home sales. They're also big in Town Lake, which is closing out. Town Lake is closing out. 12 million in production, 22 new homes sold there. And then Dunham Point is another big one for them. 10 homes sold, 5.7. Price point is a little higher, 511,000. So that would be kind of a good move up buyers. They can kind of compete with Toll Brothers a little bit. Sometimes they get in the higher end stuff, but for the most part, they're not the starter home. They're not the high end home, though they can be a high end home if they're building on big enough lots. But yeah, very good, solid home builder. They stand behind their product. So we've done several David Weekley homes sold here, and
great warranty department, and they build a little unique. They have the construction managers that just manage the community. Yeah. So it's really good as far as how they maintain the homes.
A lot of repeat buyers. We have a lot of people that bought David Weekley's who want to go back and buy another David Weekley. Yeah. So it says something about the builder. So I always say that about neighborhoods too, right? You always tell if a neighborhood's good by when homeowners want to sell in the neighborhood and buy another house in that neighborhood. It's always a good sign for the neighborhood. So David Weekley is that regards in terms of a builder. All right, number 2, getting down here to the top now, Perry Homes.
Perry.
So Perry, again, been around forever. Another good, solid builder. I would put them basically very extremely similar to David Weekley in terms of time they've been around and the price point. And they're usually kind of competing head-to-head in a lot of these neighborhoods.
Yeah, a good private Texas builder. Kathy Britton taking that over from her father, Bob Perry. So we got a lot of legacy right there and a lot of high standards there at Perry.
Yeah. So and you can see the price point is the average right there with David Weekley at $520,000, the average home price. But they've sold 127 houses, 66 million in production. So yeah, they've done a lot in the Cypress, Waller, Tomball area. So, but yeah, Amira, Bridgeland, Marvita, Grand Prairie.
Nice master plan communities.
So Grand Prairie, they've actually had 4 closings, so good for them. That's a brand new neighborhood. So
look at that.
So look at that. So that's the first time we mentioned Grand Prairie. Could be a future spotlight community.
Yeah.
So, and then number 1.
Who could it be?
Boom. Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison Homes. Look at that. With 161 home sales and $72.9 million in production, Taylor Morrison Homes has sold the most homes over the past year plus in the Cypress, Tomball, Waller areas. So, but interesting thing about Taylor Morrison is they will actually develop a lot of their own communities.
Yes, they do. They self-develop.
They self-develop, so a lot of these neighborhoods are only Taylor Morrison, like Avalon at Cypress.
Yeah.
So the top one there with 47 homes sold, plus the other 5. So basically 52 homes sold there. Bridge Creek's another one.
There's another one.
44 homes sold. So they're pretty much going only to where they're building in their own communities. Because they used to be, the section I live in, Bridgeland, there's a model home currently actually for sale, a previous model, and it's the Taylor Morrison home. So they used to sell in master plan communities like Bridgeland, but they've kind of, they've taken their business model to a different approach now, and they buy their own land, develop their own land, and build on their own land.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up. Taylor Morrison, publicly traded home builder based out of Scottsdale, Arizona. A lot of that change, you'll see it from Cheryl Palmer, their new CEO of the company. If you're ever looking for them, their ticker symbols, TMHC, based out of Arizona. Currently, right now, for the expansion of Taylor Morrison, they're in 20 markets across 12 states across the continental United States. In Houston, and all of Houston, we have 24 active communities right now, available inventory as of today for Taylor Morrison. In Houston is 118 available inventory homes that they're building in and things like that. Now, I want to tell everyone, I had a little asterisks beside something that builders typically do. Keep in mind when we're talking about active communities, and I think here on the screen we have one, Avalon at Cypress. Builders would typically call each section a community.
Right.
So for instance, so when you look at and you say 24 active communities, you expect different master plans, but no, it will be sometimes you'll see different sections in there.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning that with Bridgeland for a section. So in Taylor Morrison, Avalon, and Cypress, you'll see the 50-foot sections. And we're talking about the frontage of the home, right, Jim? We're talking about the width of the lot. So you'll see those. So it could skew those numbers and things like that, but lots of lot delivery, a lot of homes were delivered just as a whole for Taylor Morrison, just as a whole, 11,495 homes they delivered in 2023 as a builder. That is great. That is good numbers. That's building homes. That's so kudos to them for making our list and being up here and things like that. But I just wanted to share a little bit of that with the company.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so congratulations to everyone there at Taylor Morrison. It seems like they're doing really well.
Yeah.
So they have a pretty good product. $450,000 the average home price there. So, but yeah, I think that's it. So what do you think of the top 10 list? It seems about what I would expect, right?
Yeah, it's not, but you're always surprised whenever you start digging. I mean, we were you were doing some live edits and pulling up some data when we were getting ready for the show, and it just shows you what the numbers show you versus what's going on in the market. When you start looking at it like that, and you were breaking that chart down, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, there's the data. So no, that's good stuff right there. I like it. I think that's a great list. You got a good options of builders there for you.
Yeah, no, it's good. And do we want to go through some of the other data I looked at here? Or do we just want to go on to Spotlight? I did. This may be another deal, but I did break it out because I was curious. We discussed buying new homes in neighborhoods and percentage of the deals are with an agent, without an agent. I'd probably save this for another deal.
Yeah, it's almost worthy of its own episode.
Segment,
my brain was kind of
going. We can pivot this to a lot of ways.
A lot of stuff, Jim. I mean, you and I were just talking about it I'm like, well, okay. How do we call that out? And that's something that we wish people would know. So I guess they're going to have to just subscribe to the show, keep coming back for the episodes.
Start looking at,
and then we can get into some
kind
of that.
Back to, if you have those people who buy houses with an agent, without an agent, and pros and cons, using an agent, not using an agent. Are you saving money if you don't use an agent? Or are you losing money if you don't lose an agent? So all that kind of stuff. A lot of little teaser there, but a lot of things to discuss, and actually be kind of fun just to go sit and just kind of break it down on the fly and see what we kind of just start almost just hacking away at data. Listen, and just kind of what
you and I are called nerds in the office, so I love it when you start showing those types of data and things like that. But I say we bring that back for another episode.
Okay.
Who knows what we'll take.
I agree. So. I think it's time to get to the community spotlight, right? I think that would be the next segment.
That is our next segment.
Our community spotlight is very near and dear to my heart.
I got to stop you. I was getting ready to say this one should be near and dear to you because I had watched the video that your son did, and I was going to ask you some of those photos. Was that from this area where you guys lived in this house?
Yes,
so I mean, you really picked up the vibes there. Okay, good.
Great neighborhood. One of the first initial master plans in Cypress, Texas. The neighborhood is Coles Crossing.
Coles Crossing.
Coles Crossing, a master plan community. One of the originals. A classic way of life was their little slogan when they were built. What drew us to Coles Crossing back in '99 when we moved out here, and it started in 1998, so we're kind of in that first year, 2 years when they first started building when we moved in there. But it was it was wooded. So for those that don't know, most of Cypress is prairie, like where the Katy Prairie begins, no trees, and Coles Crossing was one of the groves of trees, so a lot of really nice big established pine trees and oak trees and that kind of thing. So we really like that, but just the way development was just being built out was just really, it was just felt very homey. Just all the architecture in there was really nice. I actually had one of their little spiels when they first started developing it was where the milkman still delivers. That was one of their slogans, and you got milk delivered for free for the first 6 months when you moved into Coles Crossing. So we had a little ice box in the front, and the milkman would come and deliver milk to our front door. So it was a pretty cool deal back in the day, but no, it was a great place to kind of introduce ourselves to Cypress. It's off, for those who don't know, it's off Barker Cypress and Highway 290. So I didn't do my Google Earth, but I'll kind of just on the fly.
I like the live dive into it. I like it when it dives into it.
Let's dive into Coles Crossing here live. CFRT Communities.
There we
Boom. But yeah, Coles Crossing is going to be. There's Longwood. There it is. No, that's Fairfield.
back over.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the wrong spot. Here's Coles Crossing right here, guys. So it's between basically Spring Cypress, Barker Cypress, Telge, Huffmeister.
Okay.
Again, we zoom out. I like to zoom out. Downtown Houston over here. So Coles Crossing, about 20 miles outside of downtown Houston.
Okay, right up 290.
Yep. So here it is. So Coles Crossing is this neighborhood right here. So right there off of basically exit Telge or Barker Cypress off 290.
Okay. Now, Jim, which way did they start building this community? Because you guys came in, you said about the second year or third year they were building
second
it.
Year,
which way
was from the freeway out.
They built that way?
So
Okay.
they're basically from the southwest going eastward. So these are the older sections over here. Sampson Elementary School, great elementary school right here in the middle. And then they kind of just built out eastward. So west to east is how they went. They kind of ended over here on Telge. There's actually a little section to the east of Telge that was one of the last sections they built out too.
Oh, that reached across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little section across the street. I remember when they first built, the master plan showed this little section. I was like, what are they going to do over there? And it actually turned out pretty nice. It has some duplexes over there and some smaller homes, but that little park. And no, it's a nice area. Really low taxes now. Tax rate's down to like 2.2 or 2.4.
Nice.
Again, the homes were built from basically 98 to 2005 to that range. Sold out really fast. I mean, this was a popular neighborhood.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah,
houses don't last really long when they're built there. But like I said, we love the trees, love the walking trails.
Yeah.
Lots of walking trails. A lot of them are wooded. One thing I like about the Coles Crossing walking trails I miss from Bridgeland. Bridgeland's amazing. Bridgeland has a ton of walking trails and a lot of lakes and nice scenery. Bridgeland does not have really any trash cans on the walking trails. They have some, not many. Coles Crossing has trash cans like every 10th of a mile. There's a trash can, and a lot of them have the little doggy poop pickup.
The little
stations
right there.
At
nice.
How nice is that? So Bridgeland, invariably I'll take my dogs for a walk, and they'll go to the bathroom within the first 2 minutes. Yeah. And then I'm carrying around a friggin' bag for however long my walk is because there's no trash can. So Coles Crossing, you won't have that problem. So if you have dogs, and you're looking for a place to take them for a walk, Coles Crossing is a good place because there's lots of trash cans for your doggy bags.
Yeah. And I spoke with one of our agents, our local agents here, Priscilla. I asked her, who currently lives there, and she's been living in Coles Crossing, near the section where you guys lived at.
She lives directly across the street from my house. Literally directly across the street from where my kids grew up. Priscilla bought a house after we moved away. But
really?
Hilarious small world stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't time that, but she's been there for 5 years. And you were mentioning that the walking trails. One of the things she mentioned to me, just as a thing that she spotlighted, and I asked her. I told everybody, so I want to do some research on the area. Let's ask the people who live there. And I got you, and I got Priscilla. And one of the things she said about those walking trails was the turkey trot in Thanksgiving, and I asked you about that. That's a big community event that they do there in Coles Crossing.
Yeah, Turkey Trot. They do they have a parade, a 4th of July parade, like a bike parade for the kids. Fire engines and all that kind of stuff. So my kids always enjoy doing that. But yeah, turkey trot's always a fun deal.
Yeah.
But no, they have a lot of events and things going on, so it's a great community.
Yeah, a few more of those events would be the Coles Crossing, the Crocs, the swim team, Coles Crossing Crocs. We talked about she was mentioning to me the Coles Crossing Dads Club. They have a big barbecue event, which we had one here. That Ben got to taste some stuff in.
Right,
We should get Bridgeland versus Coles or something. Maybe I'll talk to the organizer to have them battle out the barbecue. But they raise a lot of money. The Dads Club there in Coles Crossing, they raise some money for graduating seniors of the high schools. And last year, according to her, she said they raised nearly $10,000 or over $10,000. So it's a fun event and really, really tight community. I mean, I don't think we're going to get Priscilla out of there.
Right.
I mean, people go in there, and you said it, they like to stay, and it's a great family community.
Yeah, here's some pictures
Oh, yeah,
of the
look at
community.
that.
So, but no, they nice. They have tennis courts there. They have a gym, a weight room, and a gym, a clubhouse, fishing ponds. We always go feed the ducks at the fishing ponds or feed the turtles or whatever. So, but no, like it's a very tight knit, close, well developed master plan community. So it's convenient to shopping, HEB. Lots of shopping and dining and everything kind of right there, a little closer to town, right?
I was gonna say you get right on 290 is what Priscilla was saying. She's like, Rodney, I got I think she said 3 lights and I can hop on 290 and shoot right in. And that's cool. And also too, right outside of, not too far from Coles Crossing, we have the we call it the kiss and ride, but it's the parking ride for a lot of families that maybe don't want to do the commute. You got a great place you can go park and take the metro in, work, and it runs, and that's just a great thing as far as that community.
And we mentioned, but Samson's right in the middle. I love that. So everyone rides their bike. So you drive by Samson during the day, school day, and there's just bikes parked everywhere because all the kids ride their bikes to school, which is awesome.
Is this the school that we had the ride to the video? There was a video. I was looking at some of the old videos. Was that Bridge? That was Pope. Okay,
Pope.
okay. That was
Samson was one of their top 3, I think, 2 or 3 elementaries in our top elementary school list. So, and because I mentioned the bikes then too, but I always love that. And then the high school, middle school are very convenient too. They're basically across the street, so very quick drive to get to Sidewoods High School and then Spillane Middle School, also over here. So, it's good. And pricing, if we go to our handy dandy pricing chart here at scifairrealestate.com, if I go to communities and click on Coles Crossing, it'll take us to our Coles Crossing page. So pricing is, let's just do for the past year. So we start pricing from January 1st. So apply. So the median price in Coles Crossing is about $500,000. Right underneath it at $499,000. Home size 3,200 square feet, $160 square foot. Okay. This is the thing that stands out to me. 12 days on the market.
It's like nothing.
So if you want to be in Coles Crossing, you got to be looking quick. Anything that's nice, updated, those kind of houses are going to go fast. So
you have to commit to it.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see here. I mean, it's 12 could be in the high end. Last year, pretty much never averaged more than a week, 7 days on the market. So we had a little spike up here this past March of 77 of the 4 homes that sold. Again, not many homes are even being sold. So there's 20. What did it say here? How many houses? 2,600 homes in Coles Crossing, and only 68 sold in the past year and a half. So people aren't moving away from Coles Crossing. If you're there, you're there for a while. So. So not many opportunities, but if you get an opportunity on a nice house in Coles, definitely something worth looking at and checking out and just driving through the neighborhood and seeing what you think. So good for both new home buyers and people just wanting to move out or move up. So there's lots of good stuff. They do have an acreage section where homes are on half an acre to over an acre. Really nice gated section there. So those are usually over $1 million type houses, but they're really nice, heavily wooded type homes. But yeah, lots of options.
When I asked Priscilla about it, I mean, we were talking on the phone. I could tell she just perked up, and it's always great when you have someone speak about the place they live that way instead of like, I gotta get out of here. I mean, she was just like, I'm staying, I love it, it's fun, and I've heard the stories of both of you and Wendy have shared just about you guys' time over there.
And like I said, when we were there, that was one thing I remember talking about people staying in the neighborhood. We had a few people who like left our section and moved to a new section, or people left the other section and moved to our section. So people move within a community. So it's always a testament to the neighborhood, like we talked about a little earlier. So,
you guys got good taste.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. So, all right, well, that's Cole's Crossing. That's the Builders. I think that's the show.
That's a lot of show.
Yeah, that's a lot of show, and some sneak peeks for future episodes. I think we talked about. So lots of stuff to talk about. Always something.
Hey,
always something to talk.
It's good to have you back.
Sci-fi real talk. Let's get down to it.
Let's get down to it, bro.
All right, Rodney. Well, once again, nice work today. I appreciate it.
Much.
So
nice,
high five, boom,
man.
All right.
I know you got a big day. Go take care of what you got,
so
bro.
Got stuff going down, but we'll get this released for our fans.
Yes,
so, a lot of people waiting for episode 7, so it's coming. So, thanks, guys. Thank you, Rodney.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Cool.